Good morning. Happy Saturday. Well, welcome to another amazing thrift haul. My name is Bree. I am the owner and artist of Upcycled by Bree, and I'm here every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're streaming on Facebook and YouTube, and I bring you guys a fun haul of the things I have thrifted throughout the week. Now, if you see something you left behind you, everything is preloaded on my site. I have dropped the link in the description box and in the comments. So, y'all go shop now, hurry up, check out. Items will go fast and then come back and hang out. I have a fun DIY we're going to do together today and a fun haul. So, welcome in. Let me know who you are, where you're watching from. And if you don't mind, a little thumbs up, extra comments, some shares, I would highly appreciate it. I see that Dee is on this morning. Teresa's here. Good morning, ladies. I'm happy to be here. Okay, let's talk about, oh man, there's so much fun stuff to talk about. First let's talk about where I got all this stuff. I did a lot of bin shopping, of course, Goodwill bins, by the pound bins, where you go in and you dig through all the huge bins of junk that didn't make it at the thrift store. This is their final destination. You pay by the pound. Got a lot of that stuff. There's a couple of finds from the estate sale in Topeka still, and a couple of thrifted items that were too big for auctions. So fun little mix here, but mostly bins items and a few little extra treasures. Let me start off first with this amazing bird plaque. This one was actually a thrifted find, and I could not leave it behind. It's somebody's DIY, and it is vintage. There is this one little spot on it right here where it looks like it got scratched a little bit, but besides that, the pictures are pretty good, and I like how they are like sun faded just a bit. The green is gorgeous, the birds, and then the tiny gold detail. Couldn't leave this one behind. I have it up at $26.95, and I paid $4 for it at the thrift store. Hey, good morning, Lacey. How are you? So, kind of a cottage mix. I wanted to start challenging myself in 2024. I've told you guys that. So, I've been picking up some things that are a little out of my wheelhouse, but also my audience is growing so much as there's probably people that want a few other things than what I normally grab. So we're going to test it out. Now, this is one of those items, and I literally just messaged my friends because I could not believe it. Before I just say what this is, okay, thank you, Teresa. Before I just say what this is, does anybody else know what it is? Drop it in the comments for me. Thank you, Teresa. I got it. Okay, Diesta says it's a biscuit maker. She knew what's up. I saw this in the bins. I looked at it, I picked it up, and I tossed it back because it's kind of heavy. And then I looked at it from afar, and I was like, it kind of looks like a honeycomb, whatever. I'll grab it. It'll be some fun texture and somebody's vignette. I just Google lensed this before I got on. This is a Maureen here. Let me pull up the listing because I'm going to butcher it. A Maureen Junior hexagonal biscuit cutter. These things are like $200 plus online. Y'all really love your biscuits like that? I was about to start this for $1 on an auction. But I was like, it's a little heavy. I don't know if anybody's gonna like it. Like the shipping cost that it would be. You guys, hold on just a second. I'm gonna prove it here. Since I can have my phone now. Since I'm streaming from the computer. Look at this. $210. You kidding me? Anyways, I cleaned her up a little bit. I was like, you're special, girl. So she got a little Dawn Power wash bath this morning. It could use just a little bit more cleaning up, but it did shine up and clean up really nice. Anyways, I got her up at $129. If you're a reseller, there's still some wiggle room there, or if you just really love your biscuits. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I threw it back once, and then I almost sold it for $1. Whew. Google Lens, guys. Google Lens. I picked up the cutest little terracotta elephant. And I had a lot of interest on her, so I said I would bring her to a thrift haul. She's got a little spot on her nose. Not exactly sure what that is. And right here, but I'm thinking magic eraser might take that off. I just didn't try. Super cute. She is $9.95, and I picked her up for $1 from the By the Pound. So we have 2 locations here that have bins. The By the Pound location puts their breakables in like different bins, and they set them out all nice and they don't get broken. At Goodwill, it all just gets thrown in together. I picked up this antique doll. I know she is not everybody's jam or vibe, but she's actually a really great doll face. Her tag on here looks like she was being sold at some point at an antique booth. And it says antique porcelain doll for repair. Legs, feet, arms are perfect. Shoulders have cracks and a prop repair or something. But she's there. Look at her body. The bodice on this, I also thought make a really fun shabby chic DIY. Don't cover her ears. Don't tell her I'm saying this, but if you cut her legs off and put her on a dowel, she might make a really fun shabby chic dress form. Shh, you didn't hear that. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all get down with the dolls? Do you buy dolls when you're out thrifting? Let me know in the comments. Another item that was really popular is this piggy. Saved from the bins. Lord says her biscuits come pre-cut out of a canister. Same girl, same. Little piggy. The day that I was at Goodwill, I met 2 followers. So if y'all see me out in public, come up and say hi. I do not mind. It's a ton of fun. I met 2 ladies and they were bringing me stuff. This wasn't one of them. I found this little gal, but that dog back there, one lady's like, here, do you like this? And then I've got a cat up here. Wait, that way. There she is. But I found the piggy, but it was a day of critters. It was a lot of fun. Her little tail is like bendable. She's got the really cute primitive heart on her, and then obviously made out of burlap with the ear. She is up for $29.95. I had a lot of comments when I saw when I gave a sneak peek of her. So I promised I would bring her to a thrift haul. Okay. Oh, you know what? Excuse me. I am going to be extra prepared today, and we are going to start our DIY project a little early because the glue needs to dry. Oh, good morning, Stephanie. Hey, Barbara. Pam will be proud about which one, Lacey? The biscuit thing or what? You tell me. I missed where that comment came from. All right, so I thrifted this random little cardboard box, and it's got a little bit of staining on it. As for the biscuit cutter, okay. She's a baker? I know your dad's a cook, but I didn't know about your mom being a baker. Oh, Pam, you said, not your mama. Is Pam a baker? Sorry, Lacey. I think I need more coffee this morning. So this has a little water like ring on it, but as a DIYer, we all know that is not a problem. It is structurally sound. So what we're going to do is a new Prima mold and some paint on this guy. Y'all, I have been working on an edited video, and I got my molds all poured and all of that stuff. Oh, Lacey, thank you. Thank you for spelling that out for me. Miss Pam will be proud of my research. She's not a baker. I see what you're saying. Now it's clicking. Girl, you can't just say like half of a sentence. You got to write me a paragraph sometimes. So I got these all poured. DIY video is in the works, and I will obviously have to finish the edited video on another project, which are these little guys back here. But today live, we're going to use a few of them. I have the hair molds. And I'm thinking we're going to do a bunny and the little ivy leaves around her. She's super cute. But what we need to do first is glue her on, and I'm going to tape her down, and then we're going to let her dry. And then by the time I'm done showing you the rest of this junk, she'll be ready for paint. Now, if you check down in the description box, I have linked all of the things I'm using. Again, this is the Meadow Hair Mold by Redesign with Prima. And then the epoxy that I'm using is linked in my Amazon shop, which is at the very bottom of the description box. Also the glue I'm using. So if you guys have any specific questions on links, just let me know. Otherwise, they should all be down in the description, but I know sometimes they're hard to find. I'm using Eileen's Tacky Glue, which I love for crafting. It's super inexpensive and it's great for the molds. Now, as a true lazy crafter, my top is glued shut. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of glue onto my bunny mold. And low key, I use my fingers a lot to get it around the edges the way I want it. This glue isn't going to hurt you. Make sure y'all are, checking the products you're using if you're supposed to be touching them and stuff. This epoxy resin is one that takes like 12 to 24 hours to cure up, but I really did like it. I'm new to using molds or using resin in molds mainly. And they're, I still have a little bit to learn, a lot of practice, but it's pretty easy. The biggest thing I figured out, so I've got my glue on here now, and I'm just going to pop her onto the top of this box. The biggest thing I figured out was not to mix up too much at once because it starts curing, obviously. And if you don't pour it fast enough, then it gets ruined. I'm all about the bunnies right now. I just had a whole auction that was full of bunnies, and I think I'm going to go back to that thrift and buy out the rest of them. The rest of the cute ones. All right, so I'm going to glue this down, and then we're going to just set it to the side and let it dry while we do the rest of the thrift haul. And that way it's not sliding around while I'm trying to paint it and making me look bad. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you have ever tried molds before. I just started carrying them on my website about a month ago, and I have that whole collection linked down in the description if you want to check out all the different ones I carry. If you don't like bunnies, I've got birds. If you don't like birds, I've got bugs. I got some cute little picture frames, little mini frame molds. All right. So I got this whole thing poured. We're going to use these 3 pieces, and then I still have this cute little bunny head for another project. Yes, Tessie, somebody did pick up the bunny in cart. She is shipping out as we speak. And with that tacky glue, you can see I can hold it up and it doesn't slide around or anything. So it holds it in place nicely. I am just going to tape it to encourage it to dry a little faster. And it doesn't have to be 100% dry to paint it. I've realized, if you've got the time, cool. But who has time? Who has time for that? All right, cool. Now I'm just gonna get this out of our way here. How handy. And I gotta get this glue off my hands. 1 second. Cool. Now she can dry and we can do the rest of our haul. I quick made some of these adorable quilted carrots before my last auction on Thursday, and they were uber popular, but I promised that I would save some of the quilt squares and bring some to Saturday's thrift haul. So I have 8 of them available. They're sold individually, listed up at $10.95 each. I grabbed a stack of the quilt squares out of the bins, and I was going to auction them just as they were. And then I was watching another friend who was showing these, and I got so inspired, I had to quick make some. I just have hot glued them together. They are filled with some polyfill. Then the greenery is stuck down inside and they're tied shut. Super easy DIY. The little squares are like 6.5 inches in case y'all want to make some for yourself. And then if you used a bigger square, they would be a little taller. But I promised I would bring some this morning. So they are available. What do we think? Pretty adorable, right? I've done the spindle carrots for a couple of years now. And then I saw those and I was like, I have to. And now I want to make some out of like grain sack as well. You guys. Hey, Carla, how are you? Look at these. I'm sure these bring back some memories. I've got a set of 2 vintage Burwood wall decor. I see things like this quite often. Okay, so on the back it says 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3. So it looks like this was probably originally a set of 3. I've got 2 of the pieces here and I saw them in the bins. They weren't broken. All the little dragonfly wings are there. Oh my gosh. So cute. So I had to rescue him. Does anybody know what the 3rd piece was? We've got the mailbox. Looks like this one's a water spout. Does anybody know what the 3rd piece was? We rescued them. I have them up at $24.95. I love the coloring on them, but if you didn't, these would be a great piece to paint and white wax as well. If you wanted to give them more of like a springy, like colored vibe, I personally wouldn't, but you do you, boo. All right. So like I said, I met a couple of really nice followers. They chatted with me. We checked out each other's carts. And then at one point, one of them walked up and said, what do you think about this wooden dog? And I said, I love her. And she was like, here, you can have her. And I was like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. I think it's a Cocker Spaniel. Correct me if I'm wrong. He kind of looks like he is not amused with whatever you are asking of him. And I love all those little details in his ears. He is up at $24.95. I paid probably about an average of $2 for him. Any Cocker Spaniel lovers in the house? Here is one of the items I picked up that generally I think I would have normally passed on, but because there was a set there, it really sold me. And I just love the muted florals on these. Can you imagine just a big bouquet of like baby's breath or white flowers coming out of here? Kind of distressed. And I think it was made that way. I don't think they're super, super old, but they're nice. They've got a felted bottom. This one is $24.95. And the larger one that matches it is $39.95. But the set of 2 are absolutely stunning together. A little cottagey, but would definitely work in farmhouse. My favorite is that green sagey rim. I want it to find a paint color that is like that. I got some nice big breakables to ship this week. That's going to be a ton of fun. Set of 3 cottage baskets for $14.95. They are nesting as well. I think they look super cute, staged up just like this. And kind of tilt one of them to the side. And then lay the top one flat. But they nest pretty nicely. And I also think these would be gorgeous up on a wall. Sometimes the true beauty of the basket comes out when you turn it on its side. Here is another set of nesting boxes I found. I paid $1 for them. Hey, good morning, Jill. $1 for them here at the Chanel thrift store. The blue color is great. I don't love the purple. And the green is cool too, but these are going to get a makeover. They are going to get some Prima molds and a paint job, just like we're doing on our other one here today live. I haven't really decided which molds I was going to put on them yet. If you purchase them and you have a strong preference, feel free to email me upcycledbybrie.com right after you purchase and say, hey girl, would you mind using the birds, or would you mind using a frame, or you catch my drift, right? $19.95 for the set of 3. A steal of a deal right there. Another item I don't generally pick up are these little enamel teapots, But this one had the sweetest little fruit on it. The patina on the handle, stunning. And then the wooden handle here. The combination of the three sold me. Got a little bit of chipping on the enamel there. And again, I would use this one personally for greenery. I would just stick some greenery out of it and stage it up on my little cottage hutch. But it does appear to still be in pretty good shape. So, you know, use it your own discretion. I don't know. Maybe not. Isn't it gorgeous, Lacey? I have a very big soft spot in my heart for cottage. And it's like someday, what can we just have like 3 houses? Do we decorate them all different? I'll have an industrial one. I'll have like an MCM one, and then I'll have a cottage one. You can technically just mix it all together. There's no rules. I just need to perfect that. Okay, how about some salvage wood pieces straight from the bins? A little Midwest goodness right here. I did pay $5 for these guys because they were a large item. They were over the certain weight, like 3.2 pounds or whatever. So I paid a flat rate of $5. Now, I'm thinking wheelbarrow, right? These look like they came off of a wheelbarrow, but there are so many little pieces on here. Also, you could take them apart and turn them into some DIY projects. These little end pieces right here, if they were cut about right here, make really great angel wings for rustic primitive angels. And then you like drape some doilies, lacy fabric. This little part right here kind of reminds me of a corbel. And then these just good wood rectangle pieces make great little DIY wooden boxes and signs. I personally would just take these bad boys and kind of stick them in a crock with some greenery, with some floral, or maybe hang them on the wall. You could also add some coat hooks and turn these into like a coat rack, or you could hang your kitchen pans from them. So when you see pieces like this, don't pass them up. Snag them up because this beautiful antique wood is just stunning. Whether you use it as is or repurpose it and turn it into something new. $49.95 on the set of 2. I paid $5 at the BINS. Donna says, just do what you like. She does a mix of all of those decor sets. Yes, ma'am, you got it. I really do. I mix things up a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to incorporate everything. It gets a little crazy. Soup tureen, I grabbed this at the estate cleanout. Has no markings on the bottom, but I was very happy to know that it still had the spoon. I have it up at $39.95. I got it for free from my amazing friend, Ashley. And there will be more estate cleanouts, I do believe, in March. None this month. Ooh, it is marked down here. Is this marked USA? Is this? Oh yeah, it does have a mark. I so lied. I couldn't see that this morning when it was still dark in here. Looks like newer ironstone, says April. Okay. I like it. It is a beautiful piece. It needs a bath. I'll clean her up before I ship her out. I don't generally pick these up when I'm thrifting, but I couldn't leave her behind at the estate cleanup. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you use soup tureens. Does anybody serve that fancy anymore? As a single lady right now, I don't. Looks like newer ironstone, but still vintage, says April. Thank you. I'll do a little more research on that before I send it off. I like kind of, checking out things on dishes because I don't sell a lot of dishes. I just don't. But I do think they're beautiful. I look at them a lot. Joyce still serves out of one. Okay, y'all, I found 2 massive cutting boards. This one has the half scoop out of the side here. Aren't they absolutely stunning? This one was $12.98 at the Salvation Army. Oh my gosh, they are so heavy. I have all of the measurements in the description boxes if you guys want to see how much or how big these are too, if you're thinking about picking one up. I am in love with that pattern. Oh, it would make a great side table. It is so stinking thick. And I was thinking it would make a good like little butcher block top if you wanted to do a DIY kitchen island. So you have like a smaller apartment or kitchen. And then I found this one in the bins. So I paid $5 for this one. This one does have a couple little rings on it, but I think they're not very deep. I think they could be sanded off. Soup tureen, aka a crock pot. Aren't these gorgeous? I have them. The stickers fell off because they're cutting boards. Let me grab my phone. I'll tell you how much they are. I swear there were stickers on them. What are y'all up to today? It's going to be a really, really nice day here. I'm excited. I have so much to get done, but it's all like really fun stuff that I need to do. So as soon as I'm done live, I'm going to start doing a combination of crafting, shipping, and creating. It's going to be a great day. All right, so the really large rectangle one is $74.95, and the smaller one is $69.95. And they are called Huge End Grain Cutting Board A and B. Oh, it's rainy where Lacey is. Great day for housework and shipping. Yes, girl, you got a bunch to ship, my friend, I see. Looks like the bicycle has sold. I pulled it right out of the bins as well. And I figured when I snatched it up that it was going to have like broken off pedals or something. It definitely doesn't. In great shape, an adorable little seat. And then there are holes right here and here where you attach it to the wall. These always sell. If y'all ever see bicycles like this and you are a reseller, grab them because they sell every single time I find them. And you're painting a dresser. You go, girl. Sounds like me. I've got all the projects. I picked up 2 more Afghans. I have been obsessed with digging through the linens now, so thanks a lot, you guys. This one is so cute. It's like a square spiral. And I also have the measurements of these listed up in the description. So stinking cute. Oh, the bike is Old Home Interior. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know. I didn't see any markings on that one. Sometimes the home interior has stickers. And then also this sofa throw. So again, very funky. This is like the MCM lover coming out in me. These colors here. The other one, a little more muted, a little more cottagey. Hey, good morning, Lori. Y'all, if you follow me on Whatnot, I have a show tomorrow before the Super Bowl at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be a really fun bundle basket deals show, like auction. All of the baskets will start at $1, and I have that link down in the description. If you're not following me on Whatnot, use my little link and you'll get $15 in credit to spend tomorrow. It's going to be a ton of fun. Busy, busy week. It'll be 4 live sales this week. I found this cake pan, cake plate in the bins. I found the bottom first and I grabbed it because I loved the green. And then I tossed it back and then I looked over and I saw the top. The little daisies are still in great condition, not scratched up. I would say this is definitely still usable. I haven't bathed it yet, so please wash it before you put your cake in it. Perfect green color, so cottage. Use it or just display it. It would make it maybe not a great riser because of the handle. But you could, oh, you know what you could do? You could like, stage it up on a hutch. You could put a basket on top of it. Not this one, but like hang some doilies or something out of the basket, some tea towels. So it could be kind of a riser, but it's not flat. Those are great for storing paint. The cake plates? The little acrylics. Okay. I'm not an acrylic painter, so I was like thinking about my paint cans. I only found one piece of this embroidery hoop. Wah, wah. I searched and searched for the other one, but these are great to add in a little piece of lace. You can also just hang them on your wall and hang artwork inside of them. This one obviously wouldn't be usable for its intended purpose anymore, but these sell like crazy when I find them. So I listed this one up at just $34.95. Usually these big ones are closer to like $70, but I do realize it's only half of the hoop. So it's only half of the price. Or you could use it to like take selfies. Oh, that would actually be kind of cute. Oh, like a little girl's birthday party or something, a little vintage birthday party. I grabbed these two plain wooden crafting pieces. Looks like they never got used. They've got a couple dings and scratches on them, but if you check the listing, it says read description. I'm going to give them some paint, some decoupage. They're going to be great. And I'm selling them as a pair for $19.95, a steal of a deal. I paid a couple bucks for them on average, out of the bins. A piece from the estate clean out is this gorgeous sled. And I know it's not Christmas time, but it's really hard for some people to find these. No way I was leaving it behind. It came home with me, $89.95 up on my website, which is a great price on these little guys. Usually they're over $100 or so at the antique store. Please do not actually sled on this, decor only. I have a couple in my personal collection, which is why I didn't keep that one. All right, I grabbed these two frames. I haven't picked up frames in forever. I used to pick them up a lot and do a lot of crafting and stuff when I had my booths. And I haven't done any DIYs with them for a while. So I saved them out of the bins. They are very pretty vintage frames, no glass, obviously. This one is $39.95. They both are $39.95. And one is slightly bigger. They have some gorgeous detail on them. I'm not going to paint these or anything. And they both have the little fabric piece on them, which I love. It's nice and clean on this one and in great shape. So pretty. How do y'all style your empty frames? I've seen people put chicken wire in them. I've seen people put old lace and doilies in them. Or again, just hang them on the wall and then style artwork on the inside. I probably wouldn't pick those up from the thrift store, but because they were at the bins, felt like I really needed to save them. Anybody else like that? I snagged this cute little gold lantern on a pedestal. I'm assuming it was probably for candles originally back in the day, but I thought this would be so sweet on the front porch with a little terracotta pot full of flowers. Or paint it up. If you don't love it, I love the rust patina that's all over it. $24.95 on this guy, and it's pretty tall. It's like, whoops, it's substantial. Good morning, Melissa. Watching on YouTube. Thanks, girl. I need those YouTube watch minutes. I do. All right, only a couple more things, and then we're gonna paint our little box up. I have thrifted this picture before, and I sold it in my booth back in the day. Looks like this was sold by the Picture Peddler in Hollywood, California back in the day. Isn't that a fun little sticker? I have it up at $26.95, and that is a Goodwill BINS save as well. Really cute little primitive birdhouses, a bird, and I don't know, is that lavender or thyme? Oh goodness, that's another. I gravitate towards home interior, home co, and Burwood pieces a lot. Oh no, Melissa, you're fine. I actually need the YouTube watch minutes more than the Facebook watch minutes, girl. Isn't that crazy? So you're doing me a favor. It's okay. I mean, I'm trying to get the live minutes built up on Facebook, but it is no worries, my friend. No worries. This beautiful mini antique cabinet came from Charlie's. I stopped out at Charlie's when I was in Topeka last week. It's right next to the antique store that I stopped at. Look at the little fold-out top. Is this not the cutest thing? And then it has 3 wooden, very nicely working drawers in it. I have it up at $89.95, which is a steal of a deal on this gorgeous little handmade piece. I also love the details here around the top. It would look really, really well, really good painted as well. But me personally, I would not paint it. No, I think I'm going to have another coffee this morning when I get off of here. I could not fall asleep last night. It was like, I think it was a lot of just excitement. Okay. Don't laugh if this falls on my head. Oh my gosh, how strong am I? I got it. Goodwill BINS save. I saved it. This is the second trunk I have listed up on my website right now. And I promise you, the 2 together, both of the ones that I have listed up, would be stunning, stacked on top of each other. So if you are in the market right now for trunks, here's your chance. It's still really nice on the inside. It's not stinky. And whoops, it has its tray. So this one's still totally usable. I was a silly girl and accidentally shut the lock right before my live, when I was listing it. And I was like, oh no, I just shut it and locked it. And I don't have a key. And I was like, now I'm not going to be able to show anybody the inside or get it open. But I just used a little tip of a steak knife and twisted, and it popped right open. So, whew, just so you know, when I ship it, I am going to ship it with the lock open. I will tape that down a little bit so it doesn't flop around everywhere in shipping. And then you guys can decide whether you want to risk it again or not. But I'm not going to shut it when I ship it. Oh, it is gorgeous though. There are a couple little pieces where the lining on it is scratched a little. Me personally, as a DIYer, I would probably trim that. Maybe just hit it with a little black paint, or maybe not. It's wood underneath. But the patina. Okay, where's that good patina spot? Right there. Oh, the patina on the brass is really starting to come out. The leather handles are still in good shape. Had to save it. Had to save it for $5. They take up a lot of space in my inventory, but it's okay. The cutting boards can always be sanded down and reconditioned when they have cut marks or rings. Yes, Carla. And I also sell Sweet Pickins hemp oil, and that would be a great way to refinish it if you need to fix them up. Good morning, Jenny and Lisa. Lisa says, how would you ship that? In a big rectangle box. Wrap it really well and put it in a big rectangle box. Usually I do 2 layers of cardboard, so a box inside of a box, or I get a box that's big enough and put sheets of cardboard. I have shipped nightstands. I have shipped trunks. Lisa, I shipped you an easel that is taller than me, girl. That trunk, Melissa, oh my gosh, I carried it inside, and my shipper, Melissa, was like, I was like, that is a rectangle. A non-breakable rectangle. That thing is so easy to ship. You don't even understand. Oh, that's funny. I have been promising to put these deer up on my thrift haul for 2 weeks, and I do apologize because I kept forgetting. They were in my little Christmas bundle pile, but these are Pottery Barn deer. I thrifted them for $6 each, and I have them up for $22.95. Sold individually. Absolutely stunning. I'm so sorry for whoever asked for them that it took me 2 weeks to get them up. But they are up. And Christmas stuff has been selling, you guys, on Whatnot and on my website. So if you're a reseller, buy it. Just buy it year round. Maybe not like a ton of it, but a little bit. Here's the other item that I was gifted at the BINS. This gal was still in her plastic. I'll slide her back in her plastic before I ship her. I've got cat lovers. I couldn't pass up the sweet little baby. I have her up at $12.95. She's got a cute little dress. It looks like it also would come off. And her little apron comes off too. Cutie little cat. When people are like rescuing things from the BINS and bringing them up to me while I'm shopping, I couldn't, even if I didn't want to say no on those things, but even if I wanted to say no, I don't know if I could. Yes, the little wood cabinet, Linda, is $89.95. If you need help finding the link for that, let me know. But let me go ahead and drop the link to the thrift haul in the chat again real quick. For the people just hopping on, you are so welcome. All right, there's the whole thrift haul, Miss Linda, and you can go check out the prices on everything. I grabbed this out of the bins. It still has candle wax in it. Before I ship it out, I'm going to clean it up. All I need to do is take my heat gun, warm up that wax, and it'll pop right out. And then I'm also going to take a little hemp oil and rub over all this metal, and it's going to freshen up the whole piece. Did y'all know that you could use your hemp oil to kind of shine up and freshen metal? Now, me personally, I like my old rusty, crusty metal, but this piece is going to be a lot prettier once it's cleaned up. And it's branches. I've got so many bird lovers. I've sold a ton of cute little white ceramic birds lately that would look adorable. And then a little nest popped on one, or you put your candles in it. But I thought I'd give that a shot too. I have it up at $16.95. Okay, before we do any crafting, do y'all have any questions for me? Let me know in the chat. Okay. So again, if you have more than 30 minutes to let your paint dry on your molds, I would recommend that, but we're going to roll with it. So if you weren't here for the first part of our live, this is a little thrifted cardboard container I found. It had a little bit of water staining on it, but I knew it was going to be a perfect candidate for a mold. So I used my meadow hair mold. Yeah, you can tell the glue's still wet. That's okay. It's dry enough that it's going to hold it in place, which is what we need. I used my new Prima Meadow hair mold. Again, all of this is linked down in the description box. And I used Eileen's tacky glue. Now I used epoxy inside of my mold. That is linked in my Amazon store. That's at the very bottom of my description box. I know all of this might seem overwhelming with linking, so y'all can always private message me after my lives if you're having trouble finding links. I've got the meadow hair mold all glued on, and now we're going to paint. Yay! Oh my gosh, look at me stepping out a project on a live. Y'all proud of me. I am choosing today DIY's weathered wood. I have not painted with it forever. All DIY paint colors and products are stocked up on my website. Like all sizes, maybe I might have one or two colors that doesn't have a size available. Because it's time to reorder again already, which is a great thing. But like 98% of colors are available in all sizes. I've got weathered wood here. It is a gorgeous gray brown, and I have a brand new can of clear wax, which if you are a crafter, you know how nice a new can of product is. Okay. Oh my gosh. Close the cabinets and the drawers, Bree. This has been an ongoing problem my entire life. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful a brand new can of clear wax is. All right, I've also got my Perfectionist, a DIY paintbrush. It's going to be great for getting in and around all of my little details. And y'all don't waste that. Get all that paint right off the lid too. So DIY paint is a clay-based paint. It is thick and highly pigmented, which makes coverage absolutely amazing. It's all natural, only 9 ingredients, which makes it also safe to use inside with your kids, around your pets. Our owner, Debbie, has actually put a spoonful of it in her mouth on a live to prove that it's, safe. I'm not going to do that, but there's a video of her doing it if y'all need proof. And we're just going to paint right over the mold and the box. Looking really nice coverage there. And look how that brush gets in all the little details. Oh, I put the lid on. Why'd I put the lid on? Y'all, I'm rusty at live crafting. Remember, I used to like do a craft every Saturday. I've been doing better. We've been doing crafts again. Just so much resell these days. I was like, I've got to use these molds. I poured them up like over 2 weeks ago. I've been working on the edited video and I got sick and that slowed down everything, got me behind on everything. You can probably still hear it in my voice a little bit. I feel much better, but boy, does it linger. And this is why I picked up this little cardboard box, even though it had some water staining. It didn't structurally damage it. It looks like it literally just got a tiny bit wet at one point. And now you can't even tell. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm an actual crafter now. You know how long I've wanted to have molds? Drop me a comment in the chat. Let me know if you prefer to use clay or epoxy inside of your molds. Again, this is the Meadow Hair Mold by Briana. Perfect time to snatch it up for spring and Easter. I mean, we love bunnies all year round, but they're uber popular right now. And then the other great thing about molds is they are a reusable product. So once you make that initial investment, you can use them over and over again. So if you're a crafter, a maker, a seller, they are a good investment. I love transfers as well. But you know, once you use the transfer, it's gone. I also carry stencils, which are a product you can use over and over again. You can mix and match all of your molds and stencils and get so many different designs. I also carry decoupage paper, but again, once you use that once, you don't get to use it again. All right, I'm not going to paint the bottom of the box probably during the live, but we are going to dry and wax the top so you get the full effect. I will be painting the bottom of the box, I will leave the inside plain in case you want to store something inside of it that you don't want to touch paint. What are we thinking so far? Now I'm going to use my heat gun, and I have a glue, fresh glue on here. And I've never heat gunned epoxy before, so hoping this goes okay. Thank you for dropping the link to the mold, Miss Teresa. I appreciate you, friend. Barbara prefers resin. Teresa, my resin professional, says resin all the way. I think resin picks up the details so much more. Good morning, Janet. How are you? If y'all wouldn't mind doing me a favor, hitting the thumbs up button. If you haven't yet, I would greatly appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, any hearts or happy ones, just not the mean face emojis would be lovely and well appreciated. All right, so far so good. Notice as I'm drying this paint up, it is really lightening up. Because it's a clay-based paint, it will lighten as it dries. And then when we seal it, it will darken back up again. And then as the wax dries, it will kind of lighten back up again. So you'll see this clay-based paint go through several different phases. Little paint buildup right there. So I'll just tap in with my perfectionist and make sure it's all smoothed out. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. It's so cute. This took this cardboard box from just like something most people would throw away to a piece of home decor that is going to last for years now. Resin will soften when you use the heat gun, but it'll be okay. And I've heard, Teresa, with this epoxy that I use, you can kind of heat it up a little bit with a hairdryer or heat gun and get it to form around a curved surface. Now, your girl didn't feel like she could do that live today, but on an edited video, I figured I would practice. Like, let's not just melt our project on a live. All right. I almost tried to grab that behind my back there, but I figured that would be a terrible idea because it's really hot. All right, so there it is all dried up. Super cute. And now we're gonna go in and seal it with our DIY clear wax. And we're gonna use a little bit of white wax. Now, when I'm doing my waxing, I usually just use little chip brushes, little throwaway chip brushes, because I hate cleaning wax brushes. And I'll use them more than once. I'll use it 5, 6, 7 times until it's icky. Yeah, Teresa, I heard that as well. So Teresa says you can also pop the epoxy out of the mold a little bit early before it's fully hardened and like curve it around your surface. But yeah, I'm like, your girl's not quite ready for that, but we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, so I like to take a little bit of my clear wax. I just use my handle to scoop it, and I put it on the lid because I don't want to get dark paint into my tub of clear wax. So just a little hack for you. If you see me doing this, that's why. I'll just get a little bit of wax here on my brush. You're not going to need very much, and start rubbing it over my paint. Like I said, notice when I do that, my paint's going to darken back up again, but don't worry, because it will lighten back up again as it dries. It'll kind of dry somewhere in between these two colors of light and dark. Has anybody had the wax freak out factor where they've used DIY paint and they go to start waxing their piece and they're like, oh my gosh, why is it so dark? Why is this happening? And then as it dries, you're questioning your whole entire life. Be patient. Give it 24 hours to dry, and then it will all even itself out. Sometimes I put my projects in front of like a box fan or under a ceiling fan to encourage them to dry. You also want to make sure you have even coverage on your paint application. That will make it much less splotchy as it dries. If you have paint really thick in one spot, really thin in the other, then of course it's not going to dry evenly. Okay, so now this paint is sealed up. I could let it dry and we could be done, but I'm going to take it a step further and we're going to add a little bit of white wax. I'm just taking a clean paper towel here and wiping off all the excess wax. Y'all, I need another coffee. It's official. And notice you'll get a little bit of color transfer, but not bad. Okay, now we will grab our white wax. Same thing here, but in the color white. And y'all, if you haven't used the DIY waxes before, look how soft and smooth these are. They're not watery. It doesn't drip and run, but it is so soft that it applies like butter. And then I'm just going to grab a tiny little chip brush. Again, let's put some on our lid so we don't get that dark paint into our white wax. We don't want that. And I'm going to do not very much. I'm actually even going to offload some of my wax onto my paper towel. And I'm going to kind of go right over these details, making sure I get down in the low points around them. And you're like, what are you doing? It was so pretty. Now you're causing chaos. Just wait for it. So I want to work all in those details. This is where using a nice brush might come in handy, like one of those perfectionists, because you could get down in the details easier. But I hate cleaning wax brushes. I hate it. Okay, and then I'm going to work in small sections here. Once I have this little area done, now I'm just going to take and I'm going to wipe back a lot of that wax. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get one of my nicer Klingon brushes to get down. I really want to get down in all of those little crevices around this mold. That chip brush isn't doing the job. See how much better that coverage is when you use a nice brush? That's much better. All right, see, that's why it pays off to invest in good brushes. And then I'll wipe off all the excess. And notice now it's all stuck down in those low points, and my high points again have popped back through. All right, now we're going to do the rest of it. Brenda, I will link it for you. Give me just a second here. I'm so glad that works, Brenda. Aha! Okay, yay. I linked it for you. Run. Okay, so now I'm going to do the rest of the box. Again, I'm going to work in small sections. I don't want this white wax to dry too fast as I'm working, but because I put down that clear wax will act as a barrier, and it's going to make it easier to control this white wax application. If I would have put the white wax straight onto that DIY clay paint, it would have soaked in so fast and I wouldn't have been able to wipe it back as well. I hope all of that, oh my gosh, look how his little eyes pop out when you wipe it back, and all of his little hair detail. No pun intended. Oh, so cute. Okay, let me put it down and work my little magic, and I'll hold it up for you better. How much white wax you want to leave on or wipe off is totally up to you. I don't like too much. I like to be able to see my underneath coat a lot. But if you like a really heavy white wax, you get after it. And you can add a little bit, wipe it back, add a little bit, wipe it back, play around with it. Now I'm just going to do kind of a general dry brush over those flat spots so it all blends in. Are we loving this? Y'all, if you want to recreate a look like this, check the description box. Go pick up your molds. You can create hundreds and hundreds of projects with one mold. A product that keeps on giving. And the DIY paints are linked as well. All stocked up. Brushes are available. Go grab all your crafty projects. Oh, look how great. See, it's a little heavy like in wax right here. Another little trick for you. I can take the brush that had the clear wax on it, and it like erases that white wax. A little bit too much under the chin. No problem. It's gone. A little too much in front of the ear here, maybe. Lighten that right up. So play around. Wax on, wax off. Oh my God, I am full of terrible jokes this morning. It's the sleep deprivation. Do we love that? Oh my gosh. Okay, so it is 11, but I'm not in a big hurry today. Let's go ahead and just paint the little rim up here. Now, technically, I should have painted all of this and then waxed all of it, but it's okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love it. I will have an edited video up very, very soon. I promise. It is so close to being done. I'm going to film doing the other boxes today, and then I can finish up the video. Again, I have the other 3 nesting boxes available. They are redescription. They are not done yet. But if you're loving this and it's sold, you can pick up those other nesting boxes. And if you have a request on which mold you'd like me to use, you can email me, upcycledbybrie@hotmail.com, and say, please use the bunny on the boxes I bought, or please use the birds. Be very careful using a heat gun after you wax something. This is not the correct step here, but that's okay. You can get away with it. Do as I say, not as I do. This is why we don't pass up random little cardboard boxes in the thrift store, friends. Yoo-hoo! Shalina's getting her mold today. Awesome. Did you pick up the meadow hair or did you grab a different one? How much is the trunk, Dottie? It is $129.95. Just clear wax the edge. Also, if you're using DIY paint and you have time to let your paint dry for more than 10 seconds like me, also highly recommended. I would have let my glue dry for a few hours with my mold and then painted it, let it dry up for a couple of hours, and then waxed it if I wasn't on a live stream. You can see here, I have done this a lot, so I can kind of manipulate the time system, and you can get away with it because these are all great products. But if you've got the time to spare, that would be on the directions. All right, so now the edge is all waxed clear, and then we'll just take our white, go right over that. Easy peasy. Y'all, again, make sure to check the description box. Bookmark out my Whatnot auction tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm doing an extra auction this week, and it is all $1 start bundle basket deals. It is going to be so much fun. Whatnot is sponsoring this one. They're going to be pushing me out, showing me to all new faces. So I need y'all to show up for me and come hang out. I don't even care if you shop. Just come hang out with your girl. I'm even thinking I'm going to put on like some makeup and stuff for the fun of it. All right, there we go. She's beautiful. You got a different one, Shailene. Gotcha. So I will end up painting up the bottom of this box. It's kind of cute two-toned too, honestly, but I got paint on it. So we'll paint the whole thing up. It would be cute two-toned. And that's it. What a quick little fun DIY makeover. Now, I have a couple of other molds right here. Excuse me, that I was going to show you real quick that I just love. These will be on my edited video. The mechanical hearts. I was supposed to have this up by Valentine's Day, but it's, you know, it will be up by Valentine's Day. It just, these projects probably won't get there by Valentine's Day. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I am in love with these hearts. I am like into this steampunk thing right now. I'm going to start incorporating that into my decor, which is fun. I've never really done the steampunk thing. All these little gears. I over poured on the epoxy a little bit. First time practice, but that's okay. It'll pop off. And then here is the birds and blooms, I think. I haven't even taken this one out yet. Birds and blooms, birds and branches. I can't remember. Oh my gosh, that one is gorgeous. I love. So anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. Doing a little fun DIY mold project. Y'all, if you have any questions, you're watching the replay, drop them down in the comments below. I'll come back and check them. Go check the haul, do all the shopping, and I will see y'all tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time over on Whatnot. I'll be live Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. and Thursday at noon, and then I'll be right back here next week at 10 a.m. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye, friends.